All right, today we're going to look at a part of our anatomy that we use every single second, but we're going to see it in a way you've probably never imagined. We're talking about the chest muscles. But here's a thought. What if we thought of them like a brilliant little construction game?
So let's just jump right into that. A construction game? Yeah, I know, it sounds kind of funny for a serious topic like anatomy, right? But stick with me on this, because this one simple idea is maybe one of the clearest ways to really get how some of our most vital muscles actually do their job.
Okay, so our first section, which the source material calls un gioco di costruzione, that's Italian for a construction game, and honestly, it's the perfect way to kick this off. First things first, we've got to set up our game board.
All right, so here's the absolute foundational piece of our game. I want you to picture your chest, the structure that protects your heart and your lungs. The trick here is to stop picturing it as just some rigid, bony cage. Instead, you got to see it for what it really is, a special moving box. This box is our construction site. It's the right place where one of the most essential things in life happens.
Any good construction site needs its crew, right? A dedicated team. And that brings us perfectly to Section 2. Gli aiutanti di casa. I just love this phrase. It translates to the house helpers. How perfect is that? It's the best name for the specialized team that works exclusively inside our moving box.
So, who are these house helpers? Well, the fancy name for them is intrinsic muscles. And the definition is it's so simple and clean. They're the muscles that live inside the box and only work inside the box. That's it. They don't attach to anything else. They're the dedicated in-house specialists.
And honestly, this quote from our source material just absolutely nails it. They are inside the box. They only work there. It sounds almost too simple, but that distinction is so important. I mean, think about it. You've got these big, showy muscles connecting your chest to your arms or your neck. These guys? Nope, they are completely hyperlocal. Their whole world, their entire job description is right there inside the ribcage.
All right, so if they're this hyper-specialized local crew, what's their big mission? Well, it's a job they do all the time, totally in the background, without you ever giving it a second thought. Their number one job? It's helping you breathe. Every single moment of every single day, this team is on the clock, keeping the whole operation running.
Okay, so we've got our location, the box, we know the main job, breathing, so for our last section, La Squadra al Lavoro, or the team at work, it's time to meet the actual players on this incredible team and see exactly how they get it done. And here they are, the starting lineup for your breathing team. First up, we've got the intercostal muscles. Think of these as the lifters, nestled right there between your ribs. Then you've got the subcostal muscles. These are the helpers, the ones who assist when you breathe out. And finally, the transverse thoracic muscle. This one's kind of like the squeezer, working behind the ribs to help push that air out. It's a small crew, but they are incredibly effective.
So how does this play out? What's the game plan? It's this perfectly coordinated two-step rhythm. Okay, step 1, you breathe in. The intercostals, remember, are lifters. They contract. They pull that whole rib cage up and out, which makes more space for your lungs to fill up with air. Then, step 2, you breathe out. Now it's time for the helpers and the squeezers, the subcostals and transverse thoracic, to jump in. They help gently compress that box, pushing all that air back out. It's just in and out. So simple, so elegant, and perfectly timed.
The most amazing part of all this isn't just some clever little story. It's a real, perfectly coordinated game. This beautiful piece of biological machinery, and it's happening inside you right this second. Literally, as you're listening to my voice, that little team is lifting, helping, and squeezing in perfect harmony with every single breath you take. Wild, right?
So I want to leave you with one last thought to chew on. We've just gotten to know these amazing house helpers, right? The crew that only works inside our special moving box. But that kind of brings up a really cool question, doesn't it? If these are the inside crew, who's working on the rest of the construction site? What about all those other muscles that connect this box to everything else? Your arms, your neck, your back? Well, that's a whole other team with a completely different playbook.